Back to attack, I see. Vinyl Guru in the house, darlings. And this time we're going to talk vinyl box sets. You know, what is going on here? Are vinyl box sets over? Let's get into this. Vinyl box sets to me sort of seem over. Now, let me explain to you why I feel this, because there's a few reasons. One on the business end and the other on the personal end, you know? For me, I feel like it's totally over because I find that I don't really play my box sets as much as I thought. Folks, hear me out. The only reason why I say this, let's get into this personally, okay? I don't find I play my box sets that much. Like, for instance, the David Bowie ones or the Sade ones and all of that, I find I do and I can because of the easy aspect of it, like the easy access. For instance, if you file them along your box shelves, you know, your shelf, basically, you can have the box sets facing you and then you can easily access them by, you know, pulling them out. But if it's a box set where it's sort of this envelope-esque whole ordeal and there's all of this other mess, you sort of start to forget about it over time and not get access to it as much. I'm just being, you know, on a realistic aspect. Unless you're facing it all the time, if you have it shelved away like that, you're going to totally forget about it. And I want to ask you, and be very honest with me in those comments, do you find you play your box sets? Do you play your box sets often? Do you play them at all? They're beautiful collection ornament pieces, but I almost find that, hey, tis the Christmas holiday spirit, I suppose, with the ornament stuff. But I find it almost acts as a shelf ornament. It almost acts as if it's just a display piece and it's not really being utilized on my turntable as often as it should. Other things. That's just my own personal opinion on it. How do you guys feel about box sets? Because I don't think that they are selling well. At least my business insider told me that quite a bit of box sets get liquidated quite often to the distributors. And oftentimes record stores end up being able to pay very little for these box sets and end up being putting it out, you know, just a couple of years after those box sets were put out. They're able to get a fairly fair and amazing deal for those box sets. And then therefore, those clients that see those prices buy those box sets, but did they really want it originally to begin with? Let me give you an example. Prince. He had a Sign of the Times box set that came out. He had two styles. He had the one where it was like a 12 or 15 LP box set, and then he had one that was like a 4 LP box set. Now, recently, that went on sale. That has been on sale for years now. Maybe 3-4 years, I would say. Something like that, right? Now, anybody who wanted it originally would have already bought it. But of course, those high prices really turned people off, especially given the fact that it's about 15 LPs for one album. You're buying all these demos, you're buying the burping and fart sounds of the record. But ultimately, let's be honest. The versions that we want of that album is the versions that we had when we bought the album. The stuff that you want to hear, my dear, it's all perfectly picked and chosen for the album. That final product, that is what you wanted. I feel like a lot of these box sets are quite simply just filler, and we don't really need them. Talk to me in the comments down below. Fight me if you want to, honey. But I truly feel like box sets are just that, filler. You know, they fill your space up and also fill you with all of this wax are you really going to play, you know? Unless you're a diehard fan of that band and you really want to hear those demos, how often are you going to go to those demos and play them? You might play them once, twice, 3 times if you're extra curious. But after that, are you really that curious? Are you really going to love those demos more than the final product that was chosen and perfectly curated for you to listen to? I don't know. It's kind of curious. It's kind of skeptical. It's kind of, hey, to each their own. But to me, I feel like, I don't know. hey, it is what it is. It's just to me, it's a shoulder shrug. And the fact that they have to do all of that liquidating and all of that just to get the thing moving is a telltale sign of the times, literally. Going back to my reference there. But it's a sign that we're putting out a lot of things that we really don't need to put out and delaying the things that we really do. You see how the problem is here with the vinyl stuff right now? You get me, folks? Do you get me? Please comment down in the comments below, are you really playing your box sets? If you have any box sets, are you a type of person who actually plays them? Be honest with yourself now. And if you are, hey, I commend you. Amazing. You're definitely in the minority though. Probably. But be honest with me. In doing research in the making of making this video, I spoke to about maybe 8 people, 7 or 8 people. And I truly asked them before shooting this video, do you guys play your box sets? And honestly, only one of them said, yeah, I occasionally go to a few of them here and there. The rest of them all said, you know what? Not really. It's just not really. I mean, to me, that blew me away. All the time and manufacturing that comes into making these beautiful box sets, and we don't really go to them that much. It's devastating and a damn crying shame, especially given how much we spend on these box sets, you know? So really consider that and think about it next time you buy a box set. Am I going to play this a lot? Am I going to go to it? Am I going to play it? If it's somebody I really love, yes, right? But am I really going to play this as much as I think I am? Think about that. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of one moment that made me stop and really think about it, because it's an album that's one of my favorite albums of all time. The Stooges Funhouse box set that came out. It was like an 18 LP box set, right? It was just a crazy amount for one album. But it was all the demos that ever, because the Funhouse sessions was something that was really well taken care of. They had everything, they had all the tapes, they had everything still left. It was something that was still preserved. So they figured, let's do an amazing box set for this. But they only did 1,970 copies, which was very fitting given the year. 2, I mean, it's a big box set, heavy set, big box set for an album where I felt like I got a lot of the good stuff on it. And 3, I really had to think about it. Am I going to play this as much as I think I am? Do I really want it just for the sake of wanting it because it's one of my favorite albums? But am I really going to play it? You know, of course the price factors into it too, but that's probably B compared to the A. You know, it's probably B, C compared to the A factor of playability, you know, and the durability of that. Mentally, that is. So you really got to sit there and think about it. As much as I might want it now, am I gonna really want it later? Am I gonna really go for it later? And there has been so many of those moments, you know? So many. The only really good ones that have been really titillating for me as of late, I will say, is the David Bowie box sets, because they're smart. Dang nabbit, they're smart. They've been putting secret hidden David Bowie albums that never existed before this to get you to buy it. They're geniuses. Marketing geniuses. But a lot of these other box sets that have a bunch of demos and fillers and whatever, I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. Do you understand me? What I'm talking about, guys? Are you the type of person that buys these box sets? I would love to know if you really do play them as often as people regularly play albums, you know? It's something to really consider, because they can be really expensive. So it's something that you should really have second thoughts on. That being said, though, let's be honest, there have been some amazing box sets that have been put out there. I mean, the mono boxes of the Stones, for instance, that's a box set that I've been wanting for a while, and is that a box set or what? I mean, amazing sounding stuff. But not everybody's gonna put out box sets that are that well curated or that needed, you know? Sometimes people do. Like, for instance, that Beatles box set, everybody wanted that mono box set, but not everybody's gonna put out a box set where each thing is really desired, you know? Anyways, though, I've talked way too much about this, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from with this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below on all of this. Discuss this madness with me, and, until we meet again, darling.